What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We all know what the Clippers have invested in this season and in general, what they have done to get to this point and not have won a championship just yet. And it's going to be very interesting to see what Steve Ballmer decides to do this offseason. Obviously, the injuries have been there with Paul George and, not Russ, but Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. It has not resulted in championships, what they've done, and they've invested even more by trading for James Harden. And this offseason, you have free agents of Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook. Those four guys will all four be free agents if they decline their player options. Some of them have player options. So what are the Clippers going to do this offseason is the biggest question, I think, going into this offseason, which we're not even close to, obviously. There's a lot left of the season. But I'm fast forwarding. I want to see what the best thing to do with this Clippers roster. Let's get into things. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciate it. If you are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Crushables. I'm a rebuilder here on YouTube, as you guys can see. And the way I like to do rebuilds is I try to do them as realistic as I possibly can, just because I enjoy realism, and I think that's the vibe that a lot of people should go with. It's a lot of fun. It's a good challenge, and obviously sometimes we go off the rails a little bit. I'm not going to pretend to be perfect, but it's still fun. So if you enjoy realism, I'm your guy. But I have fast forwarded to the playoffs because the rest of the regular season does not matter at this point. I want to see if this team is going to win a championship or not. Steve Ballmer wants to see the same thing. So, right now they actually have James Harden come off the bench, which is very interesting. We're going to fix that. So, it's Harden, Norman Powell, Kawhi, Paul George, Zubac going to the playoffs, which I'm totally cool with. And then this is your bench, of course, as well. So, are we going to get a championship this year is the question. And then, obviously, if we don't, what is Ballmer going to do? Is he going to resign Kawhi and Paul George? Is he going to go ahead and move on from them? Because as I said, both of them have player options. Obviously, the injury history has been there, especially if there's another injury this year with these guys. It's going to be rough, man, because how many times have we all said, if the Clippers were healthy, man, they're the team to beat? And it feels like a lot of the years they have not been healthy. So, so far it's been all right this season, which is good. Obviously, they went out and got James Harden. It didn't work for like the first 5 games. Russ Westbrook volunteered to move to the bench, and now, I think they're on a 2-game winning streak at the moment. So, get the Golden State Warriors in first round. So, obviously, a tough challenge ahead of us, but let's see if we can beat them. So, I'm in a current round, and we are going to beat them in 5. So, great start. And now we get the Pelicans in the second round. We have CJ, Ingram, Trey Murphy, Zion, Joval, Daniels, Herb Jones, Jordan Hawkins, and Jose Alvarado. I'm going to come around against them, and we sweep them. Okay, now we get the Battle of LA in the conference finals. So this is exactly what, you signed up for. We haven't seen the Battle of LA once like we thought we were going to, but maybe we finally get it this year. I guess it's possible. Here goes nothing. Game 1, 1-0, 105-97, 24 from Paul George, 17 from AD. Game 2, I mean, if we're out here able to win a championship in year 1, obviously, but we dropped 2 straight to the Lakers. So, I don't know. Game 5 goes to them. And game 6 is going to go to us. Huge game 7. Huge game 7. Give less minutes to Russ, it says. Okay, I guess if that's the thing we want to do. Of course, today's video is brought to you by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is a player props app that's available on mobile or desktop. And when you log into PrizePicks, when you sign up, this is what your interface looks like. Whether you're on mobile or desktop, you simply go on here, and they got all kinds of sports outside of just NBA. They have hockey, they have college basketball. They even got COD if you want to go ahead and start playing, putting some entries on Call of Duty if you wanted to. But simply how it works, you choose between 2 to 6 players, 2 players being 3 times your entry, all the way up to 6 players being 25 times your entry. So, there is obviously some in-season tournament games tonight, which would be really fun to go ahead and put some entries on. So if you want to go ahead and look at Brook Lopez here, and you're going to say, hey, this man's scoring over 13 points, you click more on that projection. If you think Miles Turner, or let's say Obi Toppin is going over his projection at 12.5, you simply click more on that entry. This could be 3 times your entry, all the way up to 6 players. You want to throw Cam Reddish, CJ McCollum, Reeves in here. You want to click more on all of this, you can do it. And you can go all the way up to 6 times your, or 25 times your entry for 6 of 6. So PrizePicks is a lot of fun. I've been using it since 2021. I definitely encourage you to sign up for PrizePicks if you're not already. Use code Crushables and match first spot dollar for dollar up to $100. So thank you to PrizePicks. And of course, as you guys know, the tool I've been using on PrizePicks is DGF's correlation tool. Correlation has been fantastic to me. I'm going to be honest with you. So if we go into PrizePicks correlations slips, if you've been using this correlation tool since August 18th, it's up 576.5 units, which is absolutely crazy. But basically how it works, if X and Y are most likely to happen, then Z is going to happen. So right now, this slip right here, Lamar Jackson, if he is to throw over 195.5 yards, and obviously you probably could see Odell Beckham hitting over his yards at 31.5. Same thing with Stafford if he's hitting over 195.5. Now, obviously, Cooper Kupp might benefit off that as well. It basically just gives you a correlation slip, and football is very correlated because obviously for a quarterback to go over his yards, he has to throw to his receivers. So there you go. I've hit a few of these 6 to 6, so I definitely encourage you to check this out. Their YouTube channel in the description below. I have the link to sign up in the description below, so check this out if you're interested. But thank you to PrizePicks and DGF for sponsoring today's video. All right, Game 7 in LA, specifically, you know, Clippers home court, although obviously it'd still probably be Lakers home court. And the Clippers are getting a new arena next year, I believe, so part of me thinks Ballmer would like to keep the good team on the floor or keep his, you know, guys, because obviously you want as much attention as you possibly can in the new arena. But so far, it looks like we are going to the NBA Finals. So if you're Steve Ballmer, you're very happy to see your team finally make the finals. But it's championship or bust, man. It really is for this team. So Boston are in the NBA Finals. Obviously, Boston's another team that's heavily invested in their roster. They're looking to win a championship as well. So here goes nothing. Game 1, down 1-0. Game 2, we even it up. Game 3, 2-1. Game 4, 3-1. And are we going to win a championship? We sure are. So you know what? There's no sweat here. We won a championship right away, which is great, which is something I was kind of hoping we'd lose to make this video more interesting. But the fact that we won, I think it's okay. So we're going to go ahead and get in this offseason. So retirements. LeBron James is going to retire. I'm going to go ahead and make sure he doesn't. Let's go to lottery, although this obviously isn't going to matter for us. Our pick goes to the Pacers. So staff signing, let's take a look at what this is looking like. So Tyronn Lue, I know there's been there's some people that have said that Tyronn Lue should be fired and most overrated head coach in the league, but I don't know. I'm going to keep him. So let's go ahead and grab a wing whisperer, and then we should be ready to move on to this offseason and figure out what on earth are we going to do. First we got to see if Paul George and also Kawhi are going to accept their player options or not. I feel like they're not going to. We have 2 second rounders, so maybe we can use these to do something. But I kind of want to make a trade right away. So right now, Russell Westbrook probably is going to stay. Bones Highland always finds a way to get out of the rotation for whatever reason, and every team he played for so far, although it's only been 2 teams. Amir Coffey, Kobe Brown, and then Mason Plumlee, Daniel Tice, and then Zubac is our starting 5. Obviously, Zubac is fine, but it would be great to have a better center. There's no doubt. I mean, I would love to have a better center here in LA land. So we're going to try to start this offseason with getting a better center. Although I kind of want to see... Yeah, I guess we should... Let's just draft a couple guys and let's see what Kawhi and Paul George are going to do first before we just go ahead and start making moves. Because we got to figure out what direction are we even going to go in. So we'll draft Caleb Love, and we get the back-to-back picks here. So we'll draft Caleb Love. We'll also draft... I guess we can draft Trevin here. So Trevin or whatever. So welcome to the team, you two. So Caleb Love and Trevin, welcome. Player options, Kawhi, Paul George, and Russ, all 3 declining. So just like that, we have 4 free agents, which is going to be interesting. So qualifying offers, Joshua Primo, qualifying offer, I guess I can extend on him. Then free agency. Do we get bird rights? Okay, so we have bird rights on Kawhi, Paul George, and James Harden. I'm not sure at 34, 34, 33, you want to ink 5-year deals to all 3 of these guys. Maybe you can convince me 2 to 3 years, but inking a 5-year contract seems kind of crazy. I'm not going to lie. This offseason isn't like full of anybody great. Obviously, we're not going to be able to sign Russell Westbrook. I mean, maybe we actually could. Cap space is through the roof right now. But I'm pretty sure the Clippers in real life wouldn't be able to sign him, especially if he's asking for $20 million. I mean, if he accepts his $5 million player option, obviously that's a totally different story. But I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to ink deals to the Clipper or to Kawhi and Paul George. I mean, we might as well. If we just won a championship, I think we could sign these guys on for 2 more years and run it back for another couple of years. I don't see why not. So I'm going to go ahead and ink both of them 2-year max contracts. That way we have that going for us. And then James Harden, same thing. If we can keep this timeline together for a couple more years, I think you do it. So we're going to do that, and that should give us, okay, so we have number 1 offer in him, number 1 offer in him, and we have number 1 offer in Kawhi. So we're good. So we're going to sign all 3 of them back, which is great. Fortunately, we're not going to be able to get Russell Westbrook back, so we're just going to have to renounce him. But let's go ahead and see what else we can do. So those deals are done, which is great. Bruce Brown is a guy we can get right now, but James Harden, Norman Powell still here, Terrence Mann, Brandon Boston, Kawhi Leonard, Amir Coffey, Paul George, and then Zubac. So definitely the starting 5 position could be a lot better in my opinion. Monty Morris could be our backup point guard next year. Always love grabbing him. Could just re-sign Plumlee, 34 years old. Isaiah Hartenstein used to play here, or even get Andre Drummond as a backup 5. Honestly, prefer to probably trade for a better center in general, which is where I'm leaning towards right now. But Luke Kennard used to play in LA, of course. What do we need the most? Says Bones Howland, I think I'm about to flip anyway. Terrence Mann could be our backup 2 or 3 or whatever we want to do with him. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and sign Monte Morris to start up this offseason. So Monte Morris can come back. Malik Beasley. I mean, small forwards, we can get Slow-Mo. We can bring Covington back. Royce O'Neal, Jay Crowder, TJ Warren. So there's a lot of good options here. But give me, and then there's even Christian Wood, which would be interesting. Give me give me Haywood Highsmith as well, or Osman. You know what? Give me Osman as well. So we'll sign Osman and Monte Morris as our first 2 additions off the bench, which I feel good about. And now we're gonna go trade for a 5. We're gonna trade for a better 5. If that means including Zubac, I won't hesitate on that. Let's go find a better 5, and it will not be Clint Capella today. I feel like every time I've done a Clippers rebuild, I always think about Capella. I'm gonna go for someone different than him. So right now I'm leaning towards 3 different centers. We have Joe Val, who actually signed with the Knicks, so I don't even think we could be able to get him. Since he literally just signed there. And then the other couple options I have at the top of my head are like Jakob Poeltl, which would be fun. Maybe even Naz Reid, although I'm not sure I want him to be my starting 5. 13 points per game though, block per game, 7 rebounds. I don't know. Naz Reid could be an interesting option, especially since the Timberwolves are going to be up like crazy in money. So I could see them maybe being able to move on from Naz Reid and feel all right about it. Gobert, obviously too much money. Brook Lopez. I don't think the Bucks are going to trade him. Obviously, they still have Dame and Giannis, so they're going to try to keep him around. Even like Mitch Robinson or Wendell Carter sounds fun as well. 10 points, 8 rebounds from Wendell Carter. I'm gonna go Jakob Poeltl here. Jakob Poeltl, of course, is on the Raptors, who may blow it up. Not really sure what their direction is going to be, but Bones Highland could be in this trade, and I can include Kobe Brown as well. So let's say we did Zubac, Bones Highland, Kobe Brown, for Jakob. They agree. That's a huge center upgrade, in my opinion, in Jakob Poeltl. So welcome to the Clippers. So we're going to continue this train of trying to keep this team competitive. And then I actually want to go, I'm going to go the full 2 years on this. And then after these guys are gone, we'll have a clean slate and we could figure out what's next. So we're going to at least do 1 more year without these 3 guys, basically, which is what I want to do in this video anyway. But I'm also going to sign Drummond. So that'll be our offseason. Drummond will be our last addition. And now we're going to go a couple more years on this roster. James Harden's regressing, which is to be expected. Poeltl is up, but Drummond's up as well. Norman Powell's up. So yeah, this team is about to be good for a couple more years, and that's it. After that, we have a clean slate. We can go ahead and start trading anyone or whatever we need to do. So this should be a fun little video. So I'm going to go the next 2 years, probably not do too much. And then in the 3rd season, we have our work cut out for us. At the end of this season, once again, we get the 2nd seed in the West. But we're going to kind of fast forward this because I just want to see how many championships we can win before we, kind of close this chapter out with Kawhi, James Harden, Paul George. So let's just simply simulate playoffs and let's see how this goes. So round 1, Minnesota. We are going to beat them and we are going to lose to the Thunder in round 2. Okay, so the Thunder and the Bucks. The Thunder go on and you got the Thunder and okay, Thunder going to win the championship if I can speak. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander beats the Thunder as the Bucks get to the finals, but it does not matter. Claxton was a big get for them as well, but unfortunately does not mean anything. Now, do we go another year with this team, or do we simply go ahead and make some big trades right now is the question. That's the question at hand. What is the best way to go about this? Honestly, I think we keep, obviously, there's no point of trying to bottom out at this moment. We don't have a lot of future picks, so I think we just simply run it back again. I think that's the best way to go about things. And then at the trade deadline, we can reevaluate. If there is a reason to go ahead and try to trade Kawhi and Paul George for like good returns, then maybe we can consider it. But next offseason could be really good as well if we wanted to. I don't even know if we have a pick in this draft. I guess we do. So we're going to take, let's take Hugo Gonzalez here. So Hugo Gonzalez out of Spain. But yeah, there's a lot to consider in next year's, trade deadline and offseason. So we're going to accept both our young guys, qualifying offers, nothing, and then free agency. We have Terrence Mann, who I'll give a minimum contract to, and Amir Coffey. I'll bring them both back. And then we need to sign a better backup 5, I believe, which we'll go ahead and do right now. And then we can get Hardenstein, who, obviously played in LA at one point. We'll get him on a 1-year deal. Just kidding, goes to the Rockets. And then we'll grab Drummond again. We'll just bring Drummond back. So we're just simply going to run it back. Simple as that. I did see Ben Simmons as a backup point guard, which is interesting. But play regression. So Kawhi, Paul George, everything's looking the same other than Drummond is going down. And overall, we're going to run it back 1 more season with this core. And then obviously after that, we're LA. So we're going to be able to sign free agents because like I said, our draft pick situation still isn't going to be good. So we're probably not going to just like bottom out and draft a bunch of young guys. That's not going to be the way this can go. We're just going to simply, sign someone in free agency and start a new process here in LA, because we're going to be able to attract free agents. So Power King's going to land second overall. We're going to move this to balance this year. I kept it at defense last year, but we're going to see if this makes anything different. So first couple years, we haven't done too much, but obviously this next offseason is going to be an absolute movie. I will just tell you that right now. So rotationally, Harden, Powell, Kawhi, Jakob. So all this is looking good. I'll see you guys at the trade deadline or at the end of the season. If we're good, I'm just going to go ahead and run it and just see how we do. Because at this point, I don't even know what Kawhi, Paul George trade value would be. So I don't even really want to have to trade them. So I'll see you guys at the end of the season. All right, so this year we get the 4th seed in the West. Let's take a look at the player stats for this season. 22 from Paul George, 16 from Kawhi, 15 from Harden, 14.5 from Norman Powell. This team has run its course, but hey, if we can get one more championship before this is all said and done with this core, I'm happy with that. As we are going to get out of round 1. We get the Rockets in round 2. We're up 3-2 on them. James Harden's former squad. And we're going to be in the conference finals again. So that's great. LA, and we're going to beat them. And we're back in the finals to play the team we originally beat in year 1. Now, can we beat them as well to win one more ring? That would be great. And no, we're going to lose in 7. That's very disappointing. But it's all good. This offseason, as I said, is about to be a movie. So let's go straight to the lottery. Not this is going to matter for us, I believe. I'm pretty sure our pick's going somewhere else. And that is the case. It's going to Oklahoma City. No surprise there. But head coach wise, you know what? Let's go ahead and establish a new direction. Let's sign Quinn Snyder to be our new head coach. Let's sign Raymond Hickman. And then let's sign whoever else is here in guard guru or whatever. But we should have a ton of cap space open up at this moment. Like a ton. I'm not lying when I say cap space is about to be absolutely insane for us. So trade finder, 2nd round pick. I'm not too worried about it at this point. Player options. Jakob accepts. I'm actually okay with that because we're about to still be we're going to still try to be a competitive roster. There's no need to tank, right? Qualifying offers, Trevin and Caleb Love. I'll extend the offers on them. And then free agency. So obviously Kevin Durant exists. We have Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, James Harden, Norman Powell, Terrence Mann. Not bringing any of these guys back. Other than not bringing the big 3 back, I guess I should say. Powell, I probably won't bring back either. Actually, what did he do? 14.5 points per game. I'm going to go ahead and offer Terrence Mann and also Norman Powell offers. They're going to be really cheap. We might as well, right? So 2-year deals, and we'll sign them. Immediately, one name I saw that immediately stood out to me. We got Luka on the board right now. Luka Doncic, for crying out loud. I can reset this Clippers franchise by getting Luka Doncic. Not that Luka strikes me as a guy that cares about being in LA or whatever, but I mean, if I can get Embiid too. You want Embiid and Luka? Team them up? That'd be pretty interesting. But we're going to go ahead and try to go for Luka. Let's see what our odds are of getting Luka Doncic after we offer this. And we are going to be a 2nd option. Damn. Can't get Luka. Okay. Steph at 38. Doesn't feel right to do. Fox, maybe. Paulo Banchero, restricted. Probably not going to get him. So is Chet. Jaren Jackson. Mikal. Shaedon Sharp, who's restricted as well. Mark Williams. So there is some good free agents here. Obviously, I really want Luka Doncic, but it's not going to happen. So we're going to have to stay at the top here. So Kevin Durant also would be pretty interesting to bring in, but at 37 years old, kind of doesn't sound tempting. I want Luka so badly. Like, what do I got to do to get Luka Doncic? Do I have to, like, sabotage the Nets somehow? I don't even think I have anybody to trade to the Nets that would change their minds on this. So let's see. I have Jakob, but that's not going to matter. So Luka Doncic, going to keep my offer on. Fox, I mean, De'Aaron Fox would be, what did he do last year? He averaged 21.5 points per game. Fox is still really good. He's a 93 overall, so he has no offers at the moment. Paul George, obviously not bringing him back. Let's just gamble a little bit. And let's, I mean, Joel Embiid. Let's see if we get lucky. So Luka Doncic is going to the Nets. So let's see if he falls out. I don't know if he will. This might be a huge gamble. He does not. Okay. So we do not get Luka. We're not getting Fox either. So now we have Mikal Bridges, Shaedon Sharp, James Harden left, Mark Williams, Jalen Duren. Okay. So we kind of got left with the crappy bunch left, unfortunately. Mikal is not striking me as the guy I want, but Shaedon Sharp is. I mean, we can get Shaedon Sharp, 87 overall. Going to go ahead and do it. Jalen Duren, Jabari Smith Jr. I'm going to go ahead and also sign Jabari, Walker Kessler, Dyson Daniels. Man, the fact that we did not get Luka Doncic is so disappointing. But Shaedon Sharp as a 23-year-old star, I'm cool with that signing. So we'll sign Shaedon Sharp, I guess. Don't really have a lot of other options here. Jabari, what did he do last year? He's getting a $14 million contract. We might as well sign Jabari Smith Jr. as well. He's not getting a good deal from Houston, so he should sign this easily, I think. Yep, so we get Jabari Smith Jr. as well from the same draft class. Jalen Williams also here. $20 million. Wendell Carter, Jeremy Sohan's here. Nurkic, Casey Wallace. We could just go ahead and just like simply sign Sharp. So we have Sharp, Powell, Brandon Boston, Terrence Mann. We're going to figure out what we're going to do with all these positions, though. Small forward. So we have our power forward. We could sign Jalen Williams from Oklahoma City. He's got an offer from the Jazz. You know what? We have money. Let's go ahead and throw an offer at Jalen Williams. Especially if you move him to small forward, he goes up like crazy. So this wasn't the full reset I was looking for. But, I mean, this gives us a huge window. So I'm signing Jalen Williams to a deal, and we're moving him to the 3 immediately, up to an 86 overall. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this so far. So Jalen Williams can go to the 3. So now we have Shaedon Sharpe. And then Powell off the bench. We're going to move Terrence Mann to the 3 as a backup 3, I believe. So Terrence Mann, you're going to the 3. Hugo can go to the 3 as well. And then we're going to move, I believe, Brandon Boston to point guard. So we'll do something like that. So now with Powell, Brandon Boston, we'll have Terrence Mann, Hugo, and then we need to sign some front court depth. So, and Monte Morris will be our starting point guard at the moment. We could also re-sign Paul George back in LA. I mean, could just go ahead and go that route if we wanted to. What is our draft pick situation anyway? So, at least according to 2K, we have 2027 first, 2028 first, and we're in the offseason 2026. You know what? Give me Paul George. Let me resign Paul George. Why not? I mean, he's here, and he's willing to sign back, so we'll sign him. We need a power forward anyway, or we didn't really need a power forward, but we're bringing him in anyway. So, Paul, we'll figure out what to do with him. Backup 5, it's going to get B-ball Paul. So, Paul George, we're signing back. And actually, well, we may flip Paul George immediately. Let's sign and trade Paul George. I don't need him. I don't know why I even thought re-signing him would be a good idea. But hey, we can flip him for whatever, and we'll take whatever we can get. All right, so I think I'm going to do this trade with the Bulls. We get Lonzo Ball and Patrick Williams. This is easily the best offer on the table right now, so give me that. And now we have ourselves our point guard with also Patrick Williams coming over as a backup 4. That's perfect. So now we have fully reset the Clippers. Now, ideally, I wanted Luka. Don't get me wrong, but wasn't on the table. All positions. I can't even look at what player progression looked like because I accidentally skipped it. But if we look at it in general, we can't even look at our roster right now. Whatever. It's fine. So Sharp is kind of the new star here in LA. And then we also have Jalen Williams, Jabari. So, and then also just brought in Lonzo. We have a very interesting squad that could still go win a championship. Would have loved, man, if I could have signed Luka. Why didn't 2K allow me that, man? That's so annoying. But it's all good. You live with the results. And I'm still very happy with what the team the team we assembled still really good. For whatever reason, that did not pop up the... Come on. There. Okay, never mind. We're not going to be able to load this draft class, I guess. Okay. I'll just load this 2027 class. Okay. Let's get into next season. And let's look at what this rotation is about to look like. Power King's going to last 19th. So proficiency. 4-starter Quinn Snyder. We'll leave it at perimeter-centric, I guess. And then this is what it's looking like. So, 9-man rotation. Lonzo Ball, Shaedon Sharpe. And then we'll bring bench utilization all the way down to 40. That way these guys are playing a bunch of minutes. Lonzo, Sharpe, Jalen Williams, Jabari, and then Paul Reed is our starting 5 at the moment. Which is interesting. I want to start Paul Reed, then Patrick Williams, Monte Morris, Terrence Mann. Pretty good squad. And then I do want to look at shot tendencies. So Sharpe's is an 88. Jalen Williams is a 94. Very interesting. But I do want Sharpe shot tendency above Jalen Williams, of course. And then Jabari, you can be like an 82. And you guys will be our big 3. I'm going to shrink Jalen Williams down maybe just a little bit. I don't need him taking that many shots, but we'll live with that. So we'll see how good this team is now that Kawhi and Paul George are gone. And this is a totally new chapter here in LA land. So at the end of year 1 with this new core, we are actually really good, which is a great start to this new chapter. But I'm curious to see if we have anybody on all NBA teams. I don't think they will be. Luka could have had Juby, went to Brooklyn. It's so annoying. But AD makes all offense first team. We do get Lonzo Ball making all offensive second team, I guess. But we are the second seed in the West, so we have not missed a step even after life without these guys. But Sharpe leads the way with 28, which is great to see. 19 from Jalen Williams, 16.5 from Jabari, then 12 from Lonzo, and 11 from Patrick Williams. So here we go in the playoffs. Our whole rotation's on fire right now. We get Minnesota in round 1. They have DJ Whiter's new point guard, Jaren Jackson, Cat. Some very interesting team they got on their hands, but we are going to beat them in 6. Okay, I was a little nervous there, but now we get the Spurs. And guess who is not in our way this year? Potentially the Thunder. The Thunder are nowhere to be found. So if we could beat the Spurs, which always can be tough too. They have Wemby, Nicola, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, and Jalen Duren now, and Dylan Harper. So they have a really good team in San Antonio. But if we can beat the Spurs, we could be in the playoff or in the finals, and we are going to do just that. We get the Utah Jazz. So Utah, they have Walker Kessler, Keontae George, Bryce Sensabaugh. They got Gobert back, and then Kuminga. Okay. This team to me looks beatable. Not gonna lie. I'm not that intimidated by what I'm looking at, but you never know. Somebody current round against Utah. And just kidding. Wow, we got absolutely demolished. I guess I should have been intimidated. Utah and Boston, and the Boston Celtics going with the championship. Okay. I think if there's one position we could easily upgrade, it would be the center position. So I think that's what we'll look to do this offseason. Our pick is going to the Bulls because we made that trade. But let's invest even further in this roster that we have currently. So if we could trade for center, which I'm cool with just including Patrick Williams in here. We did extend Jakob Poeltl, and then let's extend Brandon Boston or trade Brandon Boston in a first. So what center could this get me is the question, if any at all. So Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert on the Utah Jazz was a huge piece for them. 5 points, 8 rebounds, and a block. Trading 2 firsts for Gobert is a little rough, though. I don't know if I could get behind that. Mitch Robinson, okay. So right now it's between Gobert and Mitch Robinson. And then Wiggins and Brogdon also pop up. I don't know. Is there another center I'm looking at that I should be able to try to get without? So, okay, let me just check really quickly. So Ayton exists, Miles Turner. Is he still on a contract? He is. He's on the Warriors now. 14 points per game. Mark Williams, Walker Kessler, who just beat us. This Nicholas Claxton Orlando is interesting. Let me see if I can get Claxton on this team. Patrick Williams and also Brandon Boston. I'll trade a first-round pick in 2028. And then let's see what they say to that. They disagree. They think they're a contender, which is fine. I'll also include Norm Powell. Don't know if that makes a difference. It does not. A couple seconds. What do you say? They agree. We get Claxton. Claxton, our new 5. Okay. I think that's a huge upgrade to what we needed. So I love that for us. And then I don't think we need to do too much of anything else. I think we just needed to upgrade the center position, and we should be ready to roll next season. So I'm going to just skip right past this offseason, as long as we keep everybody, of course. I'm pretty sure everybody is under contract still. So qualifying offers, Trevin. I should have extended that, but whatever. Free agency. I'm going to just re-sign Terrence Mann and Trevin here. And boom. And I think that's it. So I will run it back another year. We got all the way to the conference finals pretty easily until we ran into Utah. We'll see if this year can be any different for us. So I'll see you guys at the end of year number 5, I think. So here we are back in the playoffs again as the third seed in the West this time around. Here are your player stats. Shaedon Sharp's leading the way with 32 points per game, followed by 20, 18, 11, 8, 8, 8, and then like 7. So Phoenix Suns in round 1. Let's see what happens here. Collier is on the Suns now with Booker, Bradley Beal, Sadiq Bey, Vucevic. So you got a very interesting squad in Phoenix for sure. So let's go ahead and simulate current round against the Phoenix Suns, and we are going to beat them in 4, which is a great start. And now we have the Memphis Grizzlies, who have John Morant, Bane, Tim Hardaway, Jett Howard, Joe Val. So after Bane and John Morant, it's not that intimidating. So hopefully that leads us to the conference finals again, and we are going to go down 3-2 to this team. How are we down 3-2 to the Clipper or to the Grizzlies right now? No way that's actually happening to us. So let's see if we can win this huge game 5 to not go home. And right now it's looking like the Grizzlies are about to beat us. Are we serious right now with this squad? Wow. I cannot believe we lost to this team. I thought for sure that we were about to go all the way. I mean, this team is miles better than this one. I don't understand. Wow. Okay. I'm going to go one more year in this rebuild. One more season. Really disappointed by that result. I don't know how we lost to them, and I guess they went all the way to the finals. So John Morant, guess, is just a cheat code. Simple as that. So I'm going to go one more year on this. And then we'll see if the results live up to a championship next year. So Hawks win the lottery, not a championship. And then staff signing. We're going to leave this all the same. So I will see you guys at the end of next season. It'll be the last season we do in this video. So Shaedon Sharp wins Clutch Player of the Year this year, which is really cool to see. I don't know if that gets him on an All-NBA team or not. When it does, All-NBA third team. I wonder if he's been making it the last few seasons. I just haven't really been looking. So, award history. First team All-NBA in 2028, and now third team All-NBA. So, he made a first team last year. Wow, I actually skipped over that. My bad. Player stats. Here we go. This is our final year. No matter what happens, final season here. 28 from Shaedon Sharp, 18 from Jalen Williams, 17 from Jabari, and then 15 from Jalen Johnson. Yeah, we signed Jalen Johnson in free agency. That was my big get. So, hopefully that leads to something here, and we'll see how it goes. Phoenix Suns in round 1. Collier, Beal, Sadiq Bey, Walsh, Clark, Nikola Topic. Somebody current round against Phoenix. We are going to beat them in 4, but guess who we run into? Is the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have Shea, Giddey, Josh Hart, Amari, Chet. Let's just go ahead and say GG's because we're probably going to lose here, aren't we? And no, we beat them in 6. Wow, okay. And now we get the Denver Nuggets to end things off here. They have Jamal Murray, Melton, Cooper Flagg. How does Cooper Flagg end up in Denver? I have no clue. They have Brogdon off the bench. Porter still there. Oh, it's going to be a tough one. Let's see what happens. And we are going to beat them in 5. We're in the finals. Okay. And now we get Detroit, who's been one of the worst teams in the NBA this year. But obviously, it's different in 2K. They are really good. I like my squad a lot. Can we end off on a championship? We get Steve Ballmer another ring here. And no, we're going to lose to Detroit in the finals. W. Okay. Well, boys, I'll end it on that note. Got to the finals. We won a championship with James Harden and Paul George and, Kawhi, which is cool. But unfortunately, we could not win, with this core. I will say, Luka Doncic, I would have loved to have gotten him, but unfortunately did not happen. So it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed it regardless. This is Crushables. I'll see you on the next video. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.